Hello everyone, welcome to Comparative Geopolitics. Tonight I'm going to be talking about South Africa. There is a saying in my culture that when two chicks are fighting, it is not the responsibility of the ego to play the role of a peacemaker. Because when they kill each other, it is meat for the ego. In South Africa, what is happening? If you look very well beneath the surface, you will understand that it is a case of two chicks fighting each other. Africans are killing Africans. The Zulu people must understand this. And when we fight ourselves as Africans, what happens? We create favorable conditions for the colonizers to pounce. So I'm not one of those people who believe that an individual from another civilization is usually our problem. Yes, they are. We have resources. They're always going to come for our resources. But sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Because we fail to understand something. That when we fight ourselves, it is to the advantage of the people seeking to impose their authority on us. So for Africans who are calling for retaliation against the South African government by other African countries, you need to have a rethink. Because whatever we do to South Africa today, I'm not saying this to justify what the Zulu people are doing in South Africa. It's totally wrong. But if we begin to retaliate against South African businesses, we are going to be setting ourselves backward as Africans. I am talking of the overall picture now as Africans. The president of South Africa is not even helping matters. Because Ramaphosa should understand this. No wonder he was allowed to be president in South Africa. This will not happen. What the Zulus are doing now will not happen under Thabo Mbeki. Because Thabo Mbeki has a sense of history. People like Walter Sisulu, Nelson Mandela, things like this will not happen. Not even Julius Malema will allow it. But there is a reason why Ramaphosa is president of South Africa. That is why South African police are even supervising the killing of other Africans. So the SY colonial master is somewhere celebrating. Those seeking to destroy South Africa are happy. But Africans are now calling for reprisal attack against South Africa. For me, this is just my opinion. I don't think it is smart. Let me give you the example of Rwanda. In 1994, there was a dangerous genocide in Rwanda. When that genocide was unfolding, the United States of America was aware. United Nations also aware. But did they intervene? They refused to intervene. All these international organizations that talk about human rights, United Nations, United States of America, this, that. Where were all these organizations when the genocide in Rwanda unfolded? There was a case of one US general saying that it's Africans that are killing Africans. So they don't care. And the reason there was no intervention in Rwanda It's not far-fetched. There is no natural resources for them to take in exchange for intervening in Rwanda. If Africans are not wise and they begin to fight themselves, it is to the advantage of the people seeking to colonize Africa. So what is happening in South Africa is a case of two chicks fighting themselves. And the ego somewhere is waiting patiently for the opening to come. When they kill each other, it is made for him. So South Africa should be wise. Other Africans should also be wise. Reprisal attack from other African countries, for me, is like pouring fuel on already existing fire. And even if we are to retaliate against South Africans, we have to be careful and cautious how we go about it. I'm not saying this because I sanction the useless behavior of the Zulu people in South Africa. They have no sense of history, if you ask me. If your brothers are in your house and they are behaving in a certain way, the solution is not to kill. Get them out of your house in a lawful manner. So I would like to use this opportunity to call for caution in the way we handle South Africans. I see forces behind what is happening in South Africa because the way I live my life is I try to see beneath the surface. There are hands behind pushing those anti-immigration activists in South Africa. They are not working alone. Africans should be careful. That is it from me. Thank you very much, and I will see you again in my next video.